Honest J. Nowak. Oh yeah. A pleasure to meet y'all at last. Welcome back to HJN. Here on HJN, Honest J. Nowak that is, let me go ahead and talk about frozen foods. Now, I will imply that frozen foods themselves, they can be a whole lot better than regular foods, simply because, well, freezing stuff is like a natural preservative. Anything you ever want to preserve for a long period of time, just simply toss something in the freezer and set it below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And, of course, people out there who don't want to have themselves frozen food, then, well, that's pretty much up to them. But any one of us today, we could just chuck our stuff down in cryogenic preservation. That would be a great way to keep our food as fresh as possible. And more importantly, to keep bacteria and other, well, illnesses out of the food itself. Now, food of all sorts, microwavable, cook in the oven, cook in a toaster, cook in an air fryer, or a crock pot, or any other kind of, well, cooking tool that you possibly have in your home. Frozen food, there's really not a whole lot to talk about, but I could tell you for sure that I mainly use air fryers when it comes to heating up frozen foods. Now, frozen foods themselves, they can taste amazing, but that's only because after they've been thoroughly processed and they've been put together and breaded and all the stuff, depending on what kind of food it is, they can always get freeze-dried and then shipped off to a certain store nearby where they get tossed in freezers of their own. That is until we grab them out of the freezers and then they begin their thawing process. But of course, for most of us today, we try to get in our stuff in as quickly as possible, just so they don't end up getting ruined after thawing. And anyone out there who does have frozen foods and who has actually cooked them inside of an oven or an air fryer or anywhere else, I guess there's probably a lot going on between the different types of foods that you typically use or whatever kind of other foods that you'd probably want to use and cook in an air fryer or whatnot. But anyone out there who has actually had any experiences like those, then well, of course I can't really talk about a lot about the air fryers themselves, with crock pots, with ovens, toasters, anything that frozen foods can be put in and cooked with. So, of course, I guess it's probably just the end of my story right there. But there are still a lot more stories around there that need to be talked about. So, if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.